Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today for yet another Second Life lifestyle video on something that I find interesting or helpful in some type of way. And so today I have decided to kind of deconstruct some of the more important town hall meetings that Linden Lab has, because I have found from talking to friends and various people that a lot of individuals tend not to watch those meetings and or they don't know about them, period. They are posted on the Second Life channel, and not I think, I know that they're posted on a couple other channels of people that work for Linden Lab, but I wanted to go ahead and take some of the more important meetings and summarize them in a condensed way that's easier to understand. This is important to me because I myself have gone through and listened to every word of many of the meetings. And then I have also looked at the official summary of the meetings. Not only is it difficult sometimes to get the main idea in an easy way from the main meetings that are on video for everybody to see, but it's also very difficult in many ways to look at the summary of the meetings because they're touching on so many aspects of everything that was said, and so many things are said that sometimes it leaves residents feeling like, you know, it's a lot to decipher through. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to put the pieces together for. So, I sat there and I watched this meeting that we're going to be summarizing today. It is the latest one with Philip Linden. I am going to be doing this with, like I said, a couple of the summaries that I find more important, that I do think in general that residents should know about and kind of be aware of. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing today, you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I'm going to do and how this is going to work is I'm just going to be sitting here on this chair and I'm going to be looking at notes that I have on a separate screen. So you can't see the notes, but you will be able to, I'm going to be talking about the points that they talked about in the meeting. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. And I do hope that this will be helpful and or get a lot more people interested in what they're actually saying in the meetings. Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one from Philip Linden. And as a side note, I decided not to use actual clips from the videos because it's not only hell to go through, because like I said, they touch on so many different issues and things. It's a lot to just get through, but also I don't know how it would go to just play all the way through like 1 hour, 2 hour video. I don't know that Linden Lab would like that. So I took notes on the video. I'm going to be talking about it. So there we go. That's the way we're doing it. Okay, so let me take a look at my notes, you guys, here. They're already open. Okay, so this is the town hall meeting with the founder of Second Life, Philip Rosedale. This was recorded originally with Philip on June 28th, 2024. Okay, this is a town hall meeting. I will be leaving the link to the original full-length video down below if you wish to watch it. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. I have notes here, so I'm just going to be working through the notes. So first of all, the interviewer did bring out, which I didn't realize, that Philip was an advisor over at Midjourney, which I did not realize myself. So I found that interesting. All right, so then the interviewer went into the community questions. Okay, so this is a question by one of the SL residents that wrote in and had this question chosen by the interviewer to give to Philip. Okay, so the question is, what is your perspective about developments going in AI, extended reality, and digital currencies? Okay, and so basically, how does AI specifically apply to virtual worlds and communities and Second Life? And do you have any concerns? Okay, so Philip's answer was basically, and again, remember, this is a summary, you guys, but the answer is AI is something that's causing lots of scary things, and there is a lot of exciting things concerning AI. All right, so then Philip stated at 3 minutes and 55 seconds into the video, the AI is able to make three-dimensional objects like the background surrounding us here in Second Life as we feel an appropriate degree of which to use it. Second Life is eager to experiment in what can be done for the existing economy and things to attribute. Wait. Let me read that again, you guys. Second Life is eager to experiment what can be done for the existing economy and things like attribution of artists for artists. Okay, so you guys, attribution for artists basically means, which I feel that's the way he's using this word, that attribution means that when an artist makes something like a painting or any type of artistic piece at all, that if somebody else uses that artistic piece in some type of way, that the person using that artistic piece that they did not create themselves has to give attribution to the artist, meaning you have to let people know, okay, I did not make this, but so-and-so made this, like Peggy Sue made this, that's located in Florida. Okay, you have to give the artist information when you use their pieces. The thing with AI is that it's creating a whole new set of circumstances the artists have to deal with, because as a general rule, artists never used to have to deal with this. Like when I graduated from the university majoring in art, we did not have to deal with AI and people taking our images and giving us attribution. We didn't have to deal with none of that. But see, now we're here now, and people can grab images and things like that very easily and use them in Second Life or wherever. And it's just important to say where you got the image from. Yeah. All right. And then let me see. Philip also said there's tremendous short-term risk with AI. This will be part of our continuing conversation. Okay, so you guys, I'm just telling you what he said, okay? I'm not going to guess at what he meant because that's not what I'm here for. I'm trying to give you a summary, and stuff like art stuff, I might have a little bit more to say about because I am an artist myself, but otherwise, I'm just going to be telling you a summary of what was said during the interview. All right, so then we have a question from the interviewer. And the interviewer says, will you continue to be involved in SL? What is your latest venture in SL? Okay, and this is Philip's answer. And he said the lab is a very informal group of people working together, kind of co-working on a bunch of projects in my new lab in San Francisco for about the past year. Okay, so then, oops, I just lost my place. Then a comment that Philip made is, I'm trying to build technology that one draws on many things. Second Life and Facebook started about the same time as Second Life. And he said, in Second Life, you can totally build trust and connection with new people online, and you don't have to get in a fight over politics. Okay, so like I said, he's just speaking generally. He's talking about his vibes on why he made Second Life and why Second Life is important to him. And he's always kind of come from that place that he wanted to build a platform in which people can communicate from all over the world in a laid back manner, basically. Yeah. All right. So he's still saying that basic vibe is important to him. Yeah. All right. So then there was a question from the interviewer about the currency project. Okay, it's called the currency project. Okay, and he had a lot to say about this. I'm just going to read you some of his. When I say his, I mean Philip. Some of Philip's comments about the currency project. Okay, because again, I feel like this is important and it affects all of us here in Second Life, and we should kind of have a general grip on what they're talking about here. All right, so Philip said we did a bunch of experiments with fair share, and he said basically fair share is if the dollar currency goes away. Then Philip said Bitcoin would definitely have a use in that world without the dollar. We would start creating local currencies. When he says we, he means Second Life, okay? And he said, like the Linden dollar being distributed and managed by the communities in a way that's different from Bitcoin. These communities would start creating little local currencies, and when they need to travel to other communities and trade with those local currencies, they would do it on an as need basis, basically, I think is what he's getting at. And he said that's the point where they would probably use technology built with blockchain and Bitcoin and things like that. So fair share is a really cool idea. And he said we're going to get out of this idea into a smartphone application later this year. Let me read that one more time, you guys. I think this is important. He said, we're going to get out of this idea into a smartphone application later this year. All right. And he said, it's a Discord alpha right now. Okay, guys. So he's talking about a currency project. These are some of his wishes to make happen. How close Linden Lab is at making these things happen, I don't know. Philip himself said he wants to take it into a smartphone application later this year. So I would think, they're pretty far along on making this form from an idea into a reality. Right. So, and again, if you want to watch, he had a lot to say about this currency project. If you want to know more information, always refer back to the original Second Life video with the interview with Philip. And I will be leaving the link in the description box. Okay. And you can watch the whole thing and read the transcripts or whatever you need to do. Yeah. All right. So here was another question from the interviewer. What are your concerns about private contact information? Again, they're talking about private contact information with the residents. Okay. So, and Philip's answer was security is part of what we do. We want to do security the way now that big companies are doing it. And he said important things about mobile in term. Oh, sorry. I skipped on to the next question. Okay, so the way he ended that answer was we want to do security the way big companies are doing it. Yeah, you guys, I'm doing the best I can. I tried to take notes. I'm trying to make it go smooth. So, give me a break on that. Okay, here's another question from the interviewer. The interviewer asked, what are some important things about mobile in terms of the future of Second Life? Okay, so you guys, you know that they're trying to release that mobile app. They're extremely focused on this mobile app. They're pouring money into it. They're pouring time into it. They've got a lot of people working on it, so they're really into this mobile app situation. Okay. And so Philip's answer to what is the future of the mobile app for Second Life, Philip's answer is, well, I have had a chance to check it, and it's so much fun. And I feel like it's working. It's obviously not widely enough available yet, so that what did he say? Yet, so that it can. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what happened there with my notes. Anyway, he just made the comment it's not widely enough available yet for everybody to use because, it's only being made available for people that have premium accounts right now. But their end objective is to make it available for everybody as soon as they can, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, there's that. I think right now, I personally would label it as that the mobile app is in its beta format right now. It's beta time, meaning it's still in the testing phase. They're still working out kinks, and then they'll be releasing it to the masses. But right now, no. Right now, it's just available for a few. They're still trying to work out kinks, in my opinion. Okay, so here's another question from the interviewer. The interviewer says, obviously people know you are the founder of Linden Lab and forefather of Second Life. But they really want to know if you are still involved. If so, what is your capacity with working with Second Life? Okay, so this is Philip's answer, you guys. Philip says, I regularly get on Second Life, even if it's on an alt. Okay, so he's experiencing Second Life, even if it's not his main account, even if it's through an alt. And another question is that the interviewer asked is, what is your vision for Second Life for, say, the next 10 years? Where do you see it going, or what would you like to see? Okay, and Philip says, I would like to see more and more expressive Avies. He would like to feel safe and communicative. Okay, that's what he said. So basically, he was talking a lot about having more facial expressions and stuff like that with the Avies. And so anyway, that's what he was saying, you guys, that he wants to see. I think if we're going to be able to wiggle our noses and wink at somebody, so he just wants more facial communication and more facial control. As far as if you wink at somebody, you need to be able to control when you do it, so. And Let me see here, you guys. Oh, okay. And then Philip made the comment. He said, moving on to a different subject here. Philip made the comment that I remember the early days of Second Life, where Second Life was on the cover of magazines, and it was in the TV show The Office and CSI, and brands came in. All right, so he just made that general comment. Um, so let me see. Then there was a question asked. Okay, and the interviewer asked, I'm curious from your perspective, what do you think the role is for brands and entertainment companies in the metaverse in Second Life? Specifically, do you think it's a waste of time, or do you think there is actually value if it is done right? Okay, so you guys, this is all kind of interconnected, okay? Like, I don't know what happened before, or, I don't have any inside knowledge of this information, but basically, Second Life, what I've heard stories that Second Life was on the cover of magazines. It was, you know, there was, I can't, I need to find that news story, but there was a big news story on 60 Minutes of this woman who had some sort of love triangle situation or something, and it had to do with somebody she met on Second Life. But anyway, the story made it to 60 Minutes, you guys. That is huge. Do you know how much interest that brings into a video game? That is unprecedented that this type of thing would be covered on 60 Minutes. And as a result, getting who knows how many new members because it's on national TV. So, and then the brands, here, I'll read you what Philip said, but Philip is not into brands coming into Second Life. He has always said that, and he seems to be sticking with it. All right, so again, the interviewer asked, what does Philip think about brands and entertainment companies coming into the metaverse and Second Life? And does he think it's valuable if it's done right? This is Philip's answer. He said, there's been a tension and conflict concerning this. And Philip said, I don't think any compelling, useful, positive virtual world to be built entirely around brands. I think brands in SL are potentially harmful to copyright holders and stuff. Okay, so that's what he said about brands, you guys. I will make the comment here that the metaverse that was being built by the founder of Facebook, whose name I can't remember right now because I'm just not awake enough. But the metaverse that was being founded by Facebook, part of the issue that I did not realize would be an issue, but evidently Philip Linden had some foresight that this would in fact happen. But the metaverse founded by Facebook let so many brands come in, like Google and Yahoo, and I want to say HP Packard was part of the brands, Microsoft. I mean, these were big players, you guys. These are companies that make billions and billions of dollars. They are in it to win it. They only invest in things that are smart ideas. They do not care if you think, you meaning consumers, they don't care if consumers think that what they're investing in is fun or a great idea or not. They don't care. They're in it to win it. They want to make a return on their investment. They want to make more money off of money that they've already invested. So the metaverse that was founded by Facebook, they let so many brands come in, big players like Google. I'll just use them for an example. And I just, because I can't think of any other example. But, or Nike. I know for a fact Nike was one of the big players that came into the metaverse that was investing money and ads and stuff like that. And, you know, supposedly the idea for that was that, like, if there was a concert put on by Kanye West, again, I'm just pulling names out of air, you guys, but if there was a concert put on by Kanye West and he was wearing some sort of Nike tennis shoe, and then we, as the audience, were seeing that, and then we're like, oh, I see that Kanye West is wearing those tennis shoes on stage while he's performing. I want those tennis shoes. So then we would go and be able to purchase that tennis shoe immediately without even leaving the concert, because it's all the metaverse. You could purchase things without leaving and what have you. That's kind of the basic setup of that whole metaverse thing. There is that they just wanted to make it very consumer driven. Everything you see could be bought. And I know for a fact Nike at one point was talking about releasing some designs of virtual shoes that you could buy in that metaverse. And they were putting very high price tags on them because they were kind of like designer originals, kind of, so to speak. And so it was this whole thing. Anyway, the point is, you guys, is that what ended up happening, to my knowledge, is that so many big players, big brands got in there and started investing money in the metaverse that's founded by Facebook, that they wanted to change things. They wanted to have more control over things. This is specifically what Philip Linden is referring to, okay? That when you get big players that have a lot of money, that invest a huge amount of funds into something like a metaverse, then suddenly they don't just want some return, they want a huge return. And if they're not getting that huge return, then many times those big players, like Nike, will feel like they can say something like, hey, this type of advertising isn't working. We need you to do this, or let's change this so that we could do this. Or a lot of what I heard was happening with the metaverse thing is that, like Google would be coming in, investing billions. Like, we're not talking $100 or a couple thousand, we're talking billions. So they would be investing money, and then Microsoft would be like, all right, I want to build this big convention center, and I want this and this and this to be in there. And then suddenly you got a bunch of people that are not even players in the metaverse. They're just building things for consumer consumption. It's all about how much money they can make. Again, it's not about the entertainment value. They don't care about the core value of, you switch over to Second Life, so many times big corporations will not care about the core value of Second Life, and that, it's communication and being able to talk about things like politics from people across the world that you would normally never meet in a relaxed manner. They don't care about none of that. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, that that's where Philip is coming from. Sometimes I do wish we had more advertising in Second Life from outside sources, because it would bring more money to the platform and things like that. And, part of having a platform like part of having a platform like Second Life is that it is important to generate some type of money because Second Life doesn't happen for free. You might be grabbing a bunch of free stuff and you might not be paying for a premium account, but somebody has to pay all the employees that are keeping Second Life going. And, so it has to generate money somehow, some way, which is what Philip is talking about here, that there's a lot of contention talking about brands coming in because, I don't think that the money coming in from like places like Marketplace or what have you, I don't think that's enough money to generate to make the investors happy that are investors for Second Life. That's my own personal opinion, but that's kind of, I don't think I'm that far off base. All right, you guys, so I'm going to be doing another one of these videos here in the near future. And like I said, I'm not doing every single video because a lot of videos are not that big of a huge concern for residents. I mean, I'm just going by my own gut on what should be covered. There's a couple older ones that I want to cover that were made like a year or so ago, actually, and that I'm going to be doing summaries of. So yeah, so keep an eye out for those. I'll be getting to it at some point. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will go ahead and see you next time. Take care.